All right, some of you may have already seen this guy before. This is the executive director of the World Health Organization's Health Emergency Program, Dr. Michael Ryan. And Mr. Ryan does not want you to be secure in your persons, houses, papers, and effects. He doesn't want your home to be a place of security. He wants to send enforcers with guns to drag your loved ones out of your home because you might be infected with the cerveza bug. Listen to what he says.
In most parts of the world, due to lockdown, most of the transmission that's actually happening in many countries now is happening in the household, at family level.
So the threat, the global threat to human safety and security and public health is in your home. And we, the health experts, the global health experts, want to make sure that you're not in your home and that you can't stay in your home, and we're going to force you out.
In some senses, transmission has been taken off the streets and pushed back into family units.
What's he saying? The death, the deadly virus, the cerveza bug that's roaming the streets, killing everybody, could be in your house. And we need to find out. We need to drop the barrier of the Fourth Amendment. You have no protections. If it's in there, we'll find it and we'll get it out. And we don't care about your freedoms.
Now we need to go and look in families to find those people who may be sick and remove them and isolate them in a safe and dignified manner.
And you might be thinking, well, this is just an isolated case. This is just a psychopath at the World Health Organization. He has no jurisdiction over us. And this thought isn't pervasive. This isn't happening in America. Listen to what Rachel Madcow has to say. This guy right here is the science and health reporter for the New York Times. Listen to his remedy for this problem, the cerveza bug problem.
You're not sure that America will ever get it together to do some of the more extreme forms of isolation and intrusive monitoring.
In other words, America's not going to comply, so we need to force this along a little bit, don't we, says Rachel Madcow.
This is just the beginning. This is just an attempt to freeze everything in place. Then the real work begins. You've got to get people who are infected out of their homes so that they...
You've got to get people who are infected out of their homes. Just what Michael Ryan said. We don't want you in your home. We want to take you out with and put you with a whole bunch of other people because that's going to make the situation better, right?
They don't infect their family members. Even if they have mild cases, even if they have almost no symptoms, they're going to have to go someplace where they can get over it together.
Gonna have to get over it together. What about social distancing, bud? Even if you have mild symptoms, even if you're asymptomatic, if you test positive, and how are they going to find out if you test positive? Oh, that's right. James Bullard, the president for the St. Louis Federal Reserve, said, we're going to test everybody every single day. If you test positive, you can't go to work that day. If you test positive, you can't go to the store that day. If you don't show your certificate, this is how bad it's become, guys. This is where they want this to go.
We need to test literally millions of people because the first time you get a negative test means nothing. A negative test yields no information.
What's he saying? Oh, you took the test and you tested negative? Well, that's not good enough. We're going to have you test in a couple more days because we're going to make sure you get positive because we want to make sure we lay our hands on you. We want to make sure we take enforcers and they go to your door and bring you out against your will and without your consent. We don't care what you have to say. Eventually, you'll test positive. Think about this. James Bullard, the St. Louis Federal Reserve president, says that he wants people tested, not just once. He wants them every single day. But I was talking with somebody yesterday. I can't remember who it was, but they were saying, yeah, but think about what they're saying. They'll set it up for test you every single day, and there will be an uprising every single day. I'm not going to be tested every single day. And then they'll back off on that, and they'll go, okay, you just need to be just tested once a year. And everybody will go, okay, well, that's better than once a day. That's better than testing every single day of my life. Once a year, I can handle that. You don't want to be tested by government functionaries. You don't want to be put into a medical system. You don't want whatever it is they're going to shove up your nose, even if it's a home testing kit. You don't know what's on that swab that they're going to put in the back of your nose or your throat. You don't know if they're getting a DNA culture so that they can clone you or whatever they want to do. You don't know. You don't want to trust government and pharmaceutical functionaries with your life.
Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 days even after you have symptoms, for a test to turn up positive. A lot more to do even after we go into a lockdown.
What we would do with people who had fevers. What you've described as these sort of temporary hospitals where people who have mild or moderate illness
Yeah, temporary hospitals, temporary, what are they, internment camps. I'm sorry, I meant just medical facilities.
have to leave their families. People who have fevers and get diagnosed as even just mild cases need to be isolated outside of their home.
Is it
And
safe?
of course, because she's a corporate media teleprompter reader, she's not going to say, but dude, here, let's think about the ramifications of this. What about the right to be secure in your person's houses, papers, and effects? What about individual rights? And you know what the answer is. Oh, individual rights are out the window because we got to keep people safe. We got to make sure people don't die. We got to make sure there aren't infectious people walking around and jeopardizing the lives of the general population.
Safe to walk into a grocery store while openly carrying a fever. You're endangering the other people in the store. Now we're going to put you in isolation. We're going to, you're for your own protection. Not everybody's case is mild.
This is Nazi style Gestapo stuff. It's for your own protection. You don't want to harm somebody's grandmother while you're walking around in the grocery store picking out, eggs and milk, and you got a fever, do you? We have turned the corner, guys. We can't submit to this tyranny. They want to make something like this law, to where it's against the law for you to go into a store unless you wear a mask, or unless you have your vaccine certificate, or unless you can prove that you got tested that day and you test positive or negative. That's what they want, guys. Every bit of your freedoms they want to completely chuck out the window. And the cover story, the justification, the smokescreen is we got to protect other people from the coronavirus, and you might be a carrier. If you're a carrier, we're coming into your house. We're taking your wife. We're taking your husband. We're taking your sons and daughters. We're taking your children, and we're going to take them to an isolated location against your will. Never has this happened on American soil. Never. And we can't let it happen. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. If you guys get something out of these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give them a thumbs up, share them with everybody you know. And don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. This way we can circumnavigate and go around all this censorship and shadow banning garbage going on. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.